What is up, everybody? I'm Luke Bonifant. This is my 996, and today I kind of wanted to just go over everything that I've done to this car since I got it in October of 2020, kind of where my plans are going forwards. So if you're new to my channel, I bought this 1999 Porsche 911 Carrera. I bought it on Doug DeMuro's website, Cars and Bids. I've got it up to about 158,700 miles. So this car has been loved. I think I'm the 9th owner. I've done quite a bit to restore it. First things first, when I got it, there were a few things that needed some addressing right away that weren't necessarily stated previously. For instance, first day I had it, I was driving it around my neighborhood and was stranded because the fuel reader stopped working and was telling me I had a full tank and I had no gas. That was interesting. In addition, I went to park it on my driveway and it started rolling backwards even though the parking brake was all the way up. And that's because the parking brake did not work when I got it. Right off the bat, I had to fix those two things. And while I did that, I did the fuel pump. This car had already had the IMS and RMS and clutch done, new brakes and brake lines and everything. It was in good shape when I got it, but it still did need a few things. And I wasn't too worried about it. That and the AC didn't work, but it was winter. AC still doesn't work. That's starting to become a problem. Since then, I had my solenoid on my passenger side go, bank 2. I had to get that repaired, and I think they did a few other things while they were in there. I had to get new wheels. These are currently Panamera wheels that are on there temporarily because all 4 of my 997 Lobster Claw wheels that came on the car were bent in multiple places, and above 70 miles an hour, the car just shuddered. So I got new wheels. Same tires though, because while I was doing the restoration, I'm like, I'm not gonna throw a bunch of money on tires. And they had life, even though they're mismatched, they had life. So I went on a bit of a road trip down to New Orleans and back. That was 3,200, 3,300 miles, probably more. Yeah, that was quite a bit of driving. And after that, I decided that I wanted to get new suspension parts. My 911 was riding a bit saggy in the back. So I just put the Eibach sport suspension kit on with new sway bars front and rear, new bushings, and new springs all around. The car already had, from one of the previous owners, Bilstein B6 dampers on it, I'm pretty sure. So I didn't have to worry about the dampers because they're already upgraded and meant for a little bit lower springs. And the reason I went with the Eibach kit was because the HR lowering springs are more lowering springs, whereas from what I'd read, the Eibach ones were less for lowering and more for stiffening and making the ride quality a bit better. I trusted Rennlist on that, and I was not disappointed. I also had a track alignment done, or like street and track alignment, so not too aggressive, but more camber and more stability. I did have a little accident with black ice and ended up just taking the opportunity to get rid of rust and dents and chips and whatnot on the entire car, and basically the whole car has been resprayed in the same color. And I know that Porsche people are like, oh God, that's horrible. But before the paintwork was done, the shop that did it, who's a Porsche racing shop here, they identified that pretty much the whole car had been resprayed at some point, and my panels didn't really match. But now my panels match. The car looks amazing. Although one thing was, the indicator lights were not put on properly by one of the previous owners, and when the shop took them off and put them back on, they used the same glue, but I guess on the highway it came undone and ended up rattling around. So the shop was very nice to compensate me with 2 new side indicators. I stuck with the ambers. I am noticing that a lot of cars that the majority of first generation 996 cars have clear lights and clear indicators and no amber anywhere. And so I'm holding on to my ambers because first off, I don't mind the look of it at all, and I appreciate how unique my car is now. I've seen quite a few 996s in person, and mine is the only one with amber lights. Anyway, so yeah, I think next I'm gonna go with tires. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a tour of all of these upgrades that I've done so you can kind of see. I have my old sway bars and springs here to show you guys. And the last thing I did, which I thought was very, very important to do before I take this car to the racetrack, was I put the Mantis Racing deep sump with retrofitted X51 baffles on my car and switched to thicker oil with a Ceratec treatment so that if there was any bore scoring happening, it's like frozen for now. Just, if it's not gonna get any worse, hopefully, with the 5W50. It is the European Formula One. I think it's the same as Porsche Classic now has developed for these. Yeah, that with the ceramic treatment hopefully will make it run very nicely until my next oil change, or at least until I can afford to sleeve these cylinders. I still don't know if I have bore scoring, but just in case, at least I don't know, thicker oil. I might lose like a few horsepower, but my engine's healthy. That's all I care about. And I've noticed a huge difference already, a huge difference in cornering oil stability. It would drop like a little bit sometimes around roundabouts. If I was really pushing it around a roundabout, it would drop a full bar, and now it just stays at 4, which I had never seen before. It's usually around 2 or 3, 2.5, 3. So I'm very happy with the results of the deep sump kit. I'm gonna have to test it out on the track, but new tires first, and yeah. So now it's time for a tour of what all these upgrades look like on my car. Here is my 996. I'm gonna back up so you can get a better view of it here. But yeah, this is my car. I think it looks pretty good for almost 160,000 miles. Yeah, at a closer glance, I need to wash this thing. But here are my Panamera wheels. They're powder coated. And up there you could see, oh, I forgot to mention, I got new strut towers when they did the springs. And I also got new bump stops, and you can see all that in there. Those are the Eibach springs on there. And if you look down there, the red is actually the sway bar, and the front sway bar. You can't really see the front sway bars, but you can also see in there that the bushings on the front suspension are actually in surprisingly good shape for the miles that are on this car. You could get a way better look at this rear sway bar here. You could see the fresh bushing in there on the sway bar. I used to just be able to rattle the sway bar back and forth, and now it is just rock solid. These are also thicker, and they're adjustable, which is great. Right now I have them on a pretty moderate setting, way more aggressive than stock to get some understeer out, but nothing too crazy. Alright, here's my deep sump. It says Mantis Racing on the bottom. I wish I could get lower, because then you could get a better view of it. But I've also got the magnetic drain plug in there. I wish I could show you the baffles, but that would require some crazy amount of work, and I've got fresh oil in there. But overall, the underside of my engine is looking pretty nice, especially because I've got that bright red sway bar in there, and that bright aluminum deep sump on there. Looking behind the rear wheel, you could see the fresh springs in there and a little bit of those dampers down there. And the inside of the car is in fairly good shape. When I got it, I stripped it down. I've got an aftermarket head unit in there, except the ignition wire doesn't really work. That was another thing. My horn doesn't work. That was an undisclosed maintenance item that I still haven't been able to fully fix. I'm planning on getting a new steering wheel eventually, just weighing my options for now, and that would fix the issue. But for now, I don't have an airbag or a horn, so just gotta be careful out there. But yeah, when I got this car, I pretty much stripped down this interior and cleaned it all. Worked on making these plastics a little nicer. I think I did a pretty okay job on the leather. But even if it isn't cosmetically the best, I definitely have done a lot of work cleaning it. So I'm very proud of where this interior has come. I cleaned my pedals. I think I need new mats. These are so faded, but they work, so low on the priority list. But yeah, I've had to change a few fuses, but overall, this interior is in fairly good shape for its age. And I absolutely love my white dials. All right, so I guess that's a quick overview of everything that I've done to this 911 since I bought it in October. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do own a 996, are considering making some decisions regarding the suspension and just other maintenance items, I hope I've informed you on some of these decisions as someone who's had to make them. I hope if you are considering buying a 996 that you are a little bit more aware of the stuff you're getting yourself into. But yeah, that's everything. That's basically everything I've done. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I will be going through and reading everyone's comments and answering them. I do hope that you enjoy my channel and subscribe. I'm gonna be making a driving video coming up soon. Just wanna make sure that's gonna be good, and a lot more content after that. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, camera. Oh. And let's just take a look here at my god-awful sway bars that were on here before. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the paint is just fully chipping away on these. These bushings are gone. Yeah, these weren't doing too hot, and that down there is just rusted. So necessary upgrade, and the car drives so much better. I absolutely love this car. Thank you guys. Bye, Ken.